we have information on the Tennessee Aquarium, Starbucks, and more. Lane Webb will have your local weather, and Aaron Carroll will have your sports.
It's Friday, November 2nd, 2018, and you're watching Vox News Today.
Please stand for the pledge of the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And welcome back. I'm Mary Beth Mangrum.
And I'm Jay Standridge.
A Tennessee inmate grimaced and waved goodbye before saying, "Let's rock," moments before he became the first man executed in the electric chair in that state since 2007. A reporter who witnessed the scene said that Zagorski could be seen smiling while being strapped down. Zagorski had opted for the electrical chair over a lethal injection because he thought it would be quicker and less painful. Nationwide, only 14 other people have been put to death in the electric chair since 2000.
The Tennessee Aquarium in Chattanooga wants Tennesseans to pledge to have a No Straw November. The pledge is part of the First Steps campaign sponsored by aquariums across the United States to eliminate plastic waste in the country's oceans, rivers, and lakes. Individuals can take the pledge at www.pledgeourhands.org. They can also get tips on how to cut back on plastic by texting "In Our Hands" to 49767.
Stabilizers help keep cruise ships from rocking too much in the ocean, but sometimes those stabilizers fail and passengers really feel the motion of the waves. Michael Lepardi has video of a ship leaning over in Florida.
The video shows employees cleaning dishes off the floor of the Carnival Sunshine after the boat suddenly tilted to the side, what's called listing, on Sunday night. On board at the time, Tony and Kylo Williams from the Atlanta area, who told me over the phone that they've been on plenty of cruises, but nothing like this.
This was very much the ship rolling to one side and everything falling down from that. And it was just something you'll never forget.
The ship had just left Port Canaveral for a 5-day journey to the Caribbean when Carnival says an electrical switchboard malfunctioned, impacting what's called the fin stabilizers. The cruise line said in an email, quote, "It's important to note that fin stabilizers are not a safety feature. They are deployed solely for guest comfort to minimize any potential ship motion while at sea. There was never any issue with the safe operation of the ship, and our officers quickly intervened to correct the situation."
I was shifting down, falling out of my seat, and he had to hold me at arm's length so that I would not fall.
Carnival says the listing lasted about 1 minute and ship activities resumed after. The boat continued on its journey, but Tony and Kylo were shaken up and decided to cut the trip short on day 3. They say Carnival paid to fly them home and refunded their cruise.
2 people in Oregon were sickened by their children's Halloween candy. Authorities in Washington County say the couple unknowingly ate some Sour Patch Kids that were laced with meth. Valina Jones reports.
So now I'm questioning, does all of this candy, is it bad?
James Smith and his 2 kids are taking a second look at their Halloween candy after learning his neighbors were drugged after trick-or-treating.
I'm tempted to throw the whole bag out, unfortunately, and just go to the store and get a bag.
Washington County deputies say his neighbors on Southwest J Street got sick after eating Sour Patch Kids from their kids' candy. It later tested positive for methamphetamine.
You shouldn't be doing this to kids. I mean, for crying out loud. Unfortunately, it was a parent, I assumed, that ingested this. Had it been somebody his age, the outcome could have been death.
Bonnie Stewart was home when deputies and an ambulance came to her neighbor's house.
I never thought anything like this would happen, you know, with meth being around in the neighborhood and stuff. It's crazy the way stuff, you know, you can't trust anything anymore.
Deputies say because the family was likely going all over the neighborhood, it is nearly impossible to pinpoint exactly where that candy came from unless they receive more reports.
Like there's too much air, too little air, it's dried out, it's hard, there's something that just doesn't seem right about it. There's no reason to chance it.
Even though the parents told deputies the candy wrapper was completely sealed, investigators say the sweet treats can still contain a chilling surprise.
Put it into a syringe, and then you could inject the syringe through the plastic bag. People might be thinking that's another reason it's not true, like who would put a bunch of their own meth in candy and then give it away? Actually don't need very much for...
It's an old saying, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and it seems to describe the warming relations between Israel and some Gulf Arab nations, driven in no small part by their mutual animosity toward Iran. The Gulf states are reluctant to acknowledge the growing ties, but as Oren Lieberman reports, it's not easy to keep your new bestie under wraps.
The biggest sign in recent weeks of the warming relations between Israel and the Arab states is Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's visit to Oman, where he met the Omani Sultan. But that's certainly not the only sign of tectonic shifts here in the Middle East. Israel's national anthem, Hatikva, playing for the first time in Abu Dhabi, as Israeli athletes won gold at an international judo tournament. Last year, Israeli athletes had to compete under a generic flag. Now, the country's culture minister moved to tears. It's just one sign of warming relations between Israel and the Gulf Arab states. On Friday, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu made an unannounced visit to Oman for the first time in more than 20 years. Afterwards, Oman's foreign minister saying Israel should be treated like a state. Netanyahu called the trip historic.
This visit comes against the background of diplomatic efforts that I've been promoting in recent years vis-à-vis the Arab countries. There will be more.
Israel's communications minister is now in Dubai for a conference, and the country's transportation minister is preparing for his own trip to Oman next week. President Donald Trump's special envoy, Jason Greenblatt, tweeting, "In the last few days, we have seen our regional partners, Oman, Bahrain, and the UAE, make statements and/or gestures signaling warmer ties with Israel. A more stable region leads to a stronger and more prosperous region. It is good for all." The warming relations are driven by a mutual struggle against Iran. Netanyahu has been perhaps the most vocal critic of the Iran nuclear deal, lauding President Donald Trump's withdrawal from the accord. Netanyahu has quietly had the backing of the Gulf Arab states. The growing relations have come not because of an Israeli-Palestinian peace process, but despite the lack of one. The Palestinians aren't happy about the change in relations with Israel, but haven't been able to stop them. The big question is, of course, the Saudis. Does Israel have relations with Saudi Arabia, the biggest, the most powerful, arguably the most influential Gulf state? There have been reports of dealings between the two of them, including trade deals for Israeli tech, but neither side has ever confirmed that such relations exist. Oren Lieberman, CNN, Jerusalem.
Human remains were found at property owned by the Vatican in Rome. People are speculating that the bones belong to Emanuela Orlandi, a teenage girl who disappeared 35 years ago. The remains were found during a restoration works on an annex next to the Vatican's diplomatic office.
Today is the day that Starbucks declares it's official. The holidays are on. You'll be seeing these holiday coffee cups hit the streets. They have new cups every year, and this year there'll be 4 different ones. Last year's crop got some pushback for being a little too, well, not Christmassy enough. So these coffee cups have a little more than the traditional red and green. And only on Friday, Starbucks is giving away free reusable cups. You just have to buy one of the 6 holiday beverages to get the free cup.
Some Oklahoma middle school students transformed their school for a classmate fighting a rare illness. It was a special Halloween surprise for a Harry Potter fan. Allie Mayer takes us inside the wizarding world.
Teague Niebrugge is a special needs 7th grader at Deer Creek Middle School. He's Harry Potter for Halloween this year, his favorite.
He loves Harry Potter. Yeah, he is obsessed with it. He's always trying to teach us about it.
Teague is blind. The surprise that awaits him inside, though, even a sorcerer couldn't see coming. Teague lost his vision at 5 years old. His parents didn't know, though, until just a few months ago, that blindness was an early sign of a degenerative condition called Batten disease.
One thing his doctor told us is that each morning when we get up to say and to believe that today is Teague's best day. Yesterday is gone, and tomorrow's not promised for anyone. So we really believe that.
And today is going to be Teague's best day.
Good morning, Teague. Happy Halloween. I would like for you to come in. We have a special surprise for you. Want to grab my arm? What's the surprise? What's the surprise? Well, you're going to be so surprised because guess what we did?
The Make-A-Wish Foundation recently told the family they would not be able to grant Teague's #1 wish, a trip to Harry Potter World.
And we love him so much, so we really wanted to bring it to him.
I want you to feel we have this scary spider web. Can you feel it?
And so his special needs class has spent the better part of a month planning this surprise.
Harry.
They played Quidditch.
Got 2 eyes right here.
And toured the Great Hall, all of it specially designed just for Teague, including Braille name tags, so he can know who's who.
He obviously can't really see everything, so we wanted to make everything super textureful so he could really experience it himself.
This has a yellow potion inside of it, and this one has gillyweed inside of it.
We work on cherishing the moments and making memories that will last us a lifetime.
Tell me what you think of being at Hogwarts for the first time.
Fantastic.
It was fantastic and unexpected, especially in middle school where sometimes muggles forget about kindness and compassion. A perfect Hogwarts adventure for a Gryffindor wizard at heart. Allie Meyer, Oklahoma's News 4.
Now let's send it over to Lane with your weather report.
After this break, I'll have your local and national radar and more.
Breakfast will get you the readiest. Holiday Inn Express, be the readiest.
Got a car, got a boat, got a home.
Get a quote. You can save a lot. Oh, you can save a lot. But how do you know? Unless you call 894-2600.
I touched the ball before it went out, Coach.
Come on, Alex. The ref did not call that.
You gotta be kidding me, Alex.
It's the championship game.
Talk to him, Coach. I touched it. It's their ball.
Don't foul them when they inbound. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Nice going, Alex. Sorry, Coach.
Alex.
Good call.
Sportsmanship. Pass it on.
Red.
Where's Tommy?
I thought he was with you.
No.
Jack.
Tommy?
Go get him.
Don't stop. Keep playing.
Encouragement. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's take a look at that local radar. You can see here in Cleveland, don't really have anything going on as far as weather stuff. We do have some precipitation coming up from the south, and it's going up through past the Smoky Mountains. Now let's take a look at our national temperatures. You can see, especially down south, we are getting a little bit, we are still a little bit warm, but the more we move up north, the more colder it gets, and as we move into the colder season and we move into winter, that is expected to, the temperatures are expected to go down. Now let's take a look at our local weather. We can see right now it is cloudy with a temperature of 52, and we will have a high of 57 today with a low of 31 and a 30% chance of rain. And that is our local weather. A new study says oceans are absorbing 60% more heat annually than previously expected. Those involved in the data suggest the Earth is more sensitive to fossil fuel emissions than once thought. This comes on the heels of a United Nations report warning that we have just 10 years to act to avoid disastrous levels of global warming. According to the UN, the Earth will reach a crucial threshold as soon as 2030. That could result in extreme drought, food shortages, floods, and wildfires. This study was backed by NOAA's Climate Program Office. It was also published by Wednesday's issue of the journal Nature. Now let's take a look at your 7-day forecast. Friday is going to be very cloudy with a high of 55 and a low of 36. Saturday will be sunny with a high of 61 and a low of 42. Sunday and Monday will be cloudy with highs of 66 and 70 and lows of 49 and 59. Tuesday will be very rainy with a 71% chance of rain. A high of 71 and a low of 49, and Wednesday will be sunny with a high of 62 and a low of 40, and Thursday will be very cloudy with a high of 58 and a low of 38. Now let's send it over to Aaron with your scores from last night.
NBA scores, a play you won't forget, and more after this break.
I just threw the ball.
This is really bad. What are we gonna do? We? Go to the door, ask for the ball back. Are you serious? It's my ball, Myrtleback. You're so dead. I'd run away. Yeah, to Uruguay. Kiss your life goodbye. Sorry. Let's go. Yeah, never mean you're well. Nice one. Some friends you are. Fix the window. Come on. I'll come with you. Loyalty. Pass it on. You go first. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
CRCC to me is a calling that God placed on my life to really step out in faith on something that I didn't think I could do, and it's been amazing to see how God's worked through it.
CRCC stands for Crossroads Community Church, but we're a church that our vision is to be a life-giving church in our community. We do that through helping people know God, find freedom, discover their purpose, and then go make a difference. And so that's what we're doing every week, is helping people discover their jam and go make a difference.
Life happens. Whether it's car trouble, medical bills, or other expenses, Check Into Cash has a new flexible loan solution. Introducing the Flex Loan. The Flex Loan is an open line of credit. You control how much you borrow with flexible payment options. If you need a payday advance, we offer those too, because true flexibility is the ability to choose. For life's little emergencies, we're your one-stop money shop.
Smoking is nicotine can permanently stunt your lungs, taking the air out of even the biggest and baddest.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at your NFL score. The Raiders lost to the 49ers 3-34. Here are the highlights.
In your weather, it's great. And now they're going to move the ball up to where they're supposed to kick from. What is it about us and Thursday Night Football? They just put the tee in the ball on the 30. Picked by the Vikings. Cut after week 2. And the big 6'5" place kicker knocks it through from 37. CL, the last play of practice a week before the season started. Here is one wide open for the touchdown, Garcon. What a start for Nick Mullins at the end of a perfect opening drive. 49ers on top. Mullins over the middle for a touchdown. Kendrick Bourne. Sacked again. Marsh was in there. To go through him the way that he has. Goal. So good. Number 5 on the all-time list for...
Now let's take a look at your NBA scores. The Clippers lost against the 76ers, 113-122. The Bucks lost to the Celtics, 113-117. The Kings won against the Hawks, 146-115. And the Thunder lost to the Hornets, 111-107. Now let's take a look at your play of the day. Larry Lance Jr., the Cavaliers, takes a pass from Tristan Thompson and puts Mary Plumlee, the Nuggets, on a poster with one-handed jam. Mason Plumlee, the Nuggets, say not this time as he comes up with a huge rejection on Larry Nance Jr. dunk attempt. Take a few looks at your play of the day. That's all for me. Let's take a look at your school announcements after this break.
hot, fresh breakfast will get you the readiest. Holiday Inn Express, be the readiest.
I'm the greatest hitter in the world! Strike one. I'm the greatest hitter in the world! Strike two. I'm the greatest hitter in the world! Strike three. Wow. I'm the greatest pitcher in the world. Optimism. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Bradley Central. Let's take a look at our school announcements.
Week 1 of Drama Central's production of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory has ended, but there's still a chance to see a world of pure imagination. Ticket prices are $12 for general admission and $8 for students and senior citizens. Show times are as follows. Tonight, the 2nd at 7 p.m. and November 3rd and 4th at 2 p.m.
Makeup pictures will be next Wednesday, the 7th. This is for all grades. Seniors, this will be your last chance to have your senior pictures made. This is also the last chance to get pictures for the yearbook.
Don't forget to set your clock back an hour on Sunday for daylight savings time. So since Starbucks is doing something with their cups for Christmas coming up, what's your favorite Starbucks drink?
Mine, I think, might have to be the white chocolate mocha, especially when we get it with like a really hot cookie. Really good. I like it.
What you got?
I just like, grande mocha frappe. Keep it pretty simple. Yeah. That's really it. What about you, Aaron?
Heck no, I hate coffee.
You're not a coffee person?
No,
and I hate Starbucks. I hate Starbucks and coffee.
Really?
Oh.
I like the vanilla bean cream myself, but...
Nice. Do you guys prefer hot or cold?
Hot, all the way.
I like cold.
I like cold. What do you like?
Neither.
Lukewarm? Room temperature?
I like hot tea, but I don't know.
Hot tea. All right, so you're a tea man and we're all coffee. Got it. Okay. We are online on YouTube at BCHS VOX News.
You can also check us out on Facebook, WNTV, and of course at VoxNews.net.
You just can't get enough of Vox.
That's all we have for you today, Bradley Central.
And as always, God bless and go Bears.